We're really feeling the love today. We so appreciate everyone being here with us. All right, another Johnny story, unfortunately, to get into. Less than a week after his latest off-the-field incident, a leaked source tells our Pat McManaman that the Browns plan to move on from Johnny Manziel. The first day he could be released is Monday, but the Browns won't do that because of salary cap issues. Skip, what do you want to see happen next year?
Look, I want to be clear about this. I remain a fan of the kid and his ability to play quarterback in the National Football League, and I still believe he's capable of one day becoming a star in the NFL. I'm hoping that the entire league just says no to Johnny Manziel. I'm going to repeat what I said on Monday to you, which is that I know a couple of people who used to know Johnny very well who say they don't know him anymore because he no longer knows who he is. He's got problems, deep, dark problems that he has not addressed. He tried to address them last offseason in a rehab stint that clearly did not work. So I'm hoping, out of tough love, that the league says no to Johnny so he is forced to look in the mirror and get himself right once and for all, because until he does, he's got no shot in this league, if he has any shot left at all. Are some teams going to be intrigued by his ability and capability? Sure they will be. But I'm pretty sure we're real close to the whole league saying no more Johnny until Johnny can demonstrate that he's in control of Johnny off the field.
I literally have absolutely nothing to add. I could not agree with you more. Every single syllable you uttered, because it's a problem. And I know him. I've spoken to him on many occasions. It's an issue. And I think what people need to be to put into perspective for those out there that may think that folks are being too hard on him, let's pump the brakes and think about something here. First of all, you want him to get help, all right? It's not like you're saying get rid of him. We don't want to ever see you again. You want him to get the help that he needs. He went into a rehab clinic, purportedly for alcohol. We don't know if it was limited. We don't know if this is not a laughing matter. We don't know if it was limited to that. And then keep in mind, when he was on that side road with the cops, according to the police report, domestic violence was involved because the girlfriend said he had hit her, he had struck her, and it was at that time that he admitted that he had been drinking when he wasn't supposed to be drinking. And then just the other day, supposedly there was another incident involving him where the girl called the cops, and she said she wasn't just worried about herself, she was worried about him. So they literally sent helicopters hovering around the city to find this guy, to make sure that he was okay. This is the quarterback position that we had. This dude makes Colin Kaepernick look like Joe Montana in terms of his personality. We just finished talking about Colin Kaepernick and how the attitude's got to be right. You can't alienate the locker room. He doesn't. I mean, come on now. That's nothing compared to what Johnny Manziel is going through. He's got a big-time problem, and it has to be dealt with, and there's no incentive for him to deal with it coming from oil money and affluence. He doesn't have that to worry about, okay? So the only thing he has to worry about is not being allowed to play the game that he loves. And I think some tough love is required here, where I would approve of collusion on the part of NFL owners in this particular instance, where they band together and say, you are somebody we are not going to touch at all for this year until you get yourself the help that you need.
Yep. And the saddest irony of all to me about this is Johnny's teammates at A&M and in Cleveland generally really like the guy.
They really do.
They do.
That is true.
And after a while, they get sick of having to answer questions about his misbehavior off the field until they finally say, well, we can't trust him anymore.
You're also the Cleveland Browns. You have a superstar talent in Josh Gordon, who clearly had his own issues, and he was suspended for the year. You really don't need them around each other. You know what I'm saying?
And they are close.
And they are close. Yeah, they are close. And they're both good guys. But you don't need, ladies and gentlemen, my last line. Everybody talk about, resisting temptation. Let me tell y'all the best way to resist temptation. Avoid it.
No question.
Don't have it in front of your face. That way you don't have to resist it, because most times you're not. That's why it's tempting.
Keep yourself out of those situations. That's great advice. As I always say, we all want to see Johnny healthy and playing football. So Payne's playing in the Super Bowl this weekend for Denver. This news to me, could he be taking his talents to L.A. potentially? First take on the road. We're here at